All right, it is April 1st, and no joke, we have Angela Maresca in the house tonight. I'm so excited to have my friend back. When I think and so many of you guys already know her and have actually requested to have her back on, so I was so excited. When I think of someone who is abundant and just has such a beautiful heart to serve other people, it's Angela. When I think of someone who has absolutely mastered the art of enrolling, asking the right questions, following up with people, and turning that into enrollments, it's Angela. She'll probably have an updated number. Last time I talked to her, she had enrolled over 900 people. Where are we now?
A little over 1,000.
A little over 1,000. Unreal. We started at the same time, you guys. So that is crazy. I'm still probably around 350 in 7 years. She is at 1,000. That is absolutely amazing. So you can imagine.
All right.
Oop. Let me just hit mute all.
Then when she starts licking it, grab it.
Oh, it's Susan Wheeler talking to her doggies. There we go. All right. So I was so excited last night when I was getting prepared for this call. We're working on the Rapid Crystal Reset. So we have 2 weeks to go for people that are trying to earn their executive $2,000 bonus, $3,000 for those of you that have not hit all of your $100 consultant rank advancement bonuses. I put out, Angela, just so you know, an incentive that started on March 25th, where they get points for every sip and sample they host or bring guests to, every Facebook event or virtual event they do, every enrollment they get points, every consultant they rank advance, and then should they hit the executive reset, they get points too, and we're giving away AirPods and 2 cash prizes. So we're working on that. So I was thinking last night, I was definitely talking about enrollments tonight, but last minute I thought I'm going to reach out to Angela, and I'm thinking with no notice, she probably is going to be tied up and not have time. And I said, hey, by any chance, do you happen to be free that you could hop on our team call? She's like, sure. Just like that, sure. That's one of the many, many things I love about her, but she is an 8-star platinum, you guys. Her life, like one of your posts from last week was probably one of my favorite posts when you held a picture in your hand, and that you just shared. So let's just quickly, for those people that are new, quickly share your story. I know most of you know her and love her, but I want those of you that are new to hear her story. And then we'll start going into how you do what you do, girlfriend. And thank you for being here.
It is my pleasure. You are like my ISA bestie. I think we all have one, and you are definitely it for me. When I first met you, I mean, you come with 20 plus years of experience in this field. I was brand spanking new. And, I'm a great enroller, but you are a great team builder. And so what I love about this company, about the relationships here, is that there's always someone you can learn from. You don't have to be all and, know everything about everything. You just be a student and be willing to show up and do the work. But a little bit about my story. I started the program 6 years ago. A girlfriend of mine posted that she lost nine pounds. And I was very curious and very interested in how she lost it. And would you believe that she did not sign me up? She handed me over to someone who was a total stranger to me. And I fell in love with the products. In my first week, I was down 7, and I lost 28 pounds in 2 months. And I've never had product results like that. And I've done millions of weight loss programs. So the results really stood out for me. And I'll be honest, I've never heard of MLM. I've never heard of network marketing. I wish I had. If I had, maybe I wouldn't have accrued $70,000 in student loans going to school. But, I come from a Russian immigrant family where you're taught to work hard and go to school and get a good job with a pension. And I did all that. I did everything that my parents instructed me to do. And I found myself working for the city, making $500 a week, spending $400 a week on daycare, and really drowning, $70,000 in student debt. And it was very difficult. My husband was a truck driver. He would get up at 4 a.m., come home at 10 p.m., and we were like this, like 2 ships passing in the night. So when I got on the products, of course, naturally, I wanted my husband to feel better. I didn't want him eating Taco Bell. I wanted him, stopping at the truck stops. I love Ann. We make each other cry. Hi, Ann. But I wanted him to be healthy. So I put him and my mom on the products. And they sent me back $212. And that $212 fired me up. But it was in addition to my results. It was in addition to my husband losing 11 pounds. And something inside of me just, got excited. I was a caseworker investigating child abuse prior to this. So I always enjoyed helping people. And to be able to get to do that from home, and I called up the company and I said, I got $212. Where did this come from? They said, anybody can do it. And I said, okay, how much can you make? They said, as much as you want. They didn't ask for references. They didn't ask for my GED or PhD. They didn't do a criminal background check. I said, this is pretty darn neat, and I'll be honest, watching my parents work so hard as Russian immigrants, and here you work for yourself. It's incredible that I didn't have to pay anyone a lease. I didn't have to pay for electricity. You just share the program. And so when people had these reservations like, is this a thing or one of those things? I said, what the heck are you talking about? I lost 28 pounds in 2 months. What thing? What scheme? The company really, it's like Zappos. You buy the shoes, you try the shoes. If you don't like it, you send it back. And I really didn't make more of it than that. And so a pivotal moment in my business was I was bouncing between two kids. Isabella, I believe, was about 7 when I started. Lily was 1. And I said to my husband, can you stay home? Can you work a little less? Because I really believe that if I had just a little bit more time, I think I can really knock it out of the ballpark. And he quit his job. And I never had anyone believe in me like that. So when somebody puts their ass on the line, well, we're all from East Coast. I can say that, right?
Yeah, you're fine.
When somebody puts their rear end on the line for you, you don't want to disappoint them. And I really, really went to work. And it was just conversations upon conversations. It was getting out there. It was talking to people. Anybody who would listen. It was just sheer excitement. And I'll tell you honestly, 6 years later, when I speak to a new prospect, I still feel that excitement. I still feel that as a caseworker, as a social worker, we all have that ability to change someone's life. But in social work, you can only help the household you're investigating. Here, there's a ripple effect. You help 5, they help 5, they help 5. That's 125 that have been touched because of you. So it really, I love this industry. I love this company. I love the people here. So that's a little bit about my story.
That's great. And we were talking on our mastermind call today. I think I've shared with you that our executives get together once a week and we kind of share all the announcements going on, what's working, and really just try to share ideas with each other and try to help the team as a whole. And we were talking today about, that excitement and energy and how important it is. And you can really feel when people start to wane in their excitement and their enthusiasm. And it is something that we have to be so aware of. And one of the questions I actually had for you tonight, so before we start with the enrolling, was people were asking me for you to share what is your mindset and posture. And you just gave us a glimmer of that when you were sharing. But when you're talking to new people, what is the posture that you have? And let's do this. Give us some examples. Like when you're talking to a new people, you meet people every day, everywhere you go. Maybe give us some examples of what you say and show us your posture. Can you do that?
Sure. So I'll give you an example of me being normal and me being human. I was going to CrossFit and I love it. I loved it. My husband and I started participating in CrossFit, and we made friends. We signed up people in the CrossFit community just by naturally connecting and trying different things. You know, they see us drinking the shakes, they ask. But I got hurt at CrossFit and I injured my back. And for a year, I was going to physical therapy. And finally, they said, listen, you're going to have permanent drop foot if you don't get the surgery. And it was a year of my life that I was in a funk. I was still doing the do, but not with as much energy and enthusiasm. And I was sitting talking with Ed, and I said to him, listen, I'm hiding behind Facebook, you know, because I'm not confident. The old me would have been out there going to chiropractors, trying different Zumba schools. So you know what I did the past 2 weeks? I started a 30-day system. You know, being a coach doesn't mean that you're perfect. It means that you've got to get back faster than most. You've got to get aligned, remember why you started, and get your tuchus back on track. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about. And I'll be honest with you, the program works each and every time. I'm 2 weeks in, I'm 9 pounds down, and I feel great. I put up a post, a little vulnerability post this morning on my page. You guys can check it out just to get some ideas. But I said, look, it's been a tough year. I fell off, but I'm committed. I'm committed to standing in integrity. I'm committed to being a product of the product, and I'm committed to getting back on track. And I think being a good coach doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It means that you have to show up and do the do. Cindy told me she was reading the new John Maxwell book. I ordered it because I respect her and I trust her. It's about reading the books. It's about being physically active. It's about drinking the shakes every day. You can't drink the shakes sometimes. You've got to be all in. And when you're all in, physically, mentally, emotionally, listening to the podcast, reading the books every night, doing the cleanse days. I'm on cleanse day 2. I'm cranky. But listen, you do what you got to do, because people are going to join you because they know you, love you, and trust you. And that's how you hold posture. You catch yourself faster than most. It's not about being perfect. It's about seeing that you've gotten a little bit away and you got to pull yourself back.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I've heard it said before that 2 things. One, there's no problem in your business that enrolling someone new that's excited can't fix. And also, if you're feeling out of funk at all in your business, to do a very strict 30-day and get back on track, because you'll get that energy back like we had in the very, very beginning. And I mean, I remember how excited I was. I was on the phone 24/7 telling everybody I possibly could about this because I was so excited that I was getting up without an alarm. I had energy all day long. I no longer needed a nap in the afternoon or felt like I was going to die at the end of the day. And I was so fired up, I talked to everybody. So we've got to find ways, and that's why I love to follow people like Tony Robbins to get that energy up. Rod Hairston's also wonderful with that. When you're feeling your energy go down, it's not attractive. Think about who you're attracted to. You're attracted to people who are positive, happy, confident. They have great posture with what they do. You're not attracted to people that are slumped over, have no energy when they talk. So that's huge. All right. So let's get to it. Angela, tell us, walk us through a day. Where do you meet people? What do you say specifically to them? And we'll talk follow-up later. But walk us through a day, because I think so many people want to be able to enroll even a quarter, an eighth, a 16th of what you do. And there is such fear and trepidation in talking to new people and strangers. Share with us, how do you do that and what do you say?
I'm very diligent when it comes to following a Facebook system. There has not been a single day in 6 years that I have not posted. Period. End of story. It doesn't matter to me what system you use, but you have to be consistent. So I will give you an example. Motivational Monday. Google something motivational. And when people are on the train, on their way to work, miserable, thinking, I got to deal with this boss all week, be the light, be the inspiration for somebody. Motivational Monday, always. Transformation Tuesdays. Who can I highlight? If you don't have a big team who you can highlight, use the people in your cleanse group. Go to Isa Body Challenge, share their stories. You know, the pictures and the stories are what attract people. Wellness Wednesdays, offer something of value. Just talk about how you can, 3 kitchen hacks, 3 do-it-yourself projects, how to organize your kid's backpack in under 10 minutes. It doesn't matter what. YouTube these DIY things, you know, and just post it up there. Be the interesting person that people will want to follow. And then Thursdays, put up a recipe. Friday, talk about Freedom Friday. Even if you've made one cycle, guys, that's huge. One cycle, that's groceries, that's pet food for the week, that's kids' lunch money. Saturdays is family day, and Sunday is a call to action. And now I'm getting in the habit of doing more lives. I'd like to commit to doing it every Thursday. So follow a system is number 1. Number 2 is you want to be friend requesting people. Now, it doesn't matter to me if you find them a friend of a friend, if they're friends that Facebook has suggested to you. You want to continuously friend people. But if your page is empty, if you're in one day and out the next, what's the point of friending somebody, right? The minute somebody sends me a friend request, I scroll through their page 10 years back. I'm literally looking at their son's baby pictures, you know, and he's 16. So, that's what people do. That's how they get to know a little bit about you in today's day and age. So commit to friend requesting 3 people a day. It's not unusual. If you are a network marketer, your friends list should be in the thousands, right? And if you scroll to the bottom of your Facebook, it will show you who you friended a year ago, 5 years ago on that day. Reach out to that person. Hey, we made friends 2 years ago today. How's life been? You can do that every single day. Those people pop up. Whoever you friended on this day, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, will show up. Shoot them a message. Birthday messages. You know, you're here to add value. You're not here to be a salesperson. I have never felt like I have sold something. In the 1,000 enrollments, I have always felt like a good friend trying to help. And that's how you want to come across to people. So not just friend request people, because if you're not communicating with them, they're not going to see your page. So tip number 3, you want to make sure to add value. And you want to do that with 5 people a day. 5 new people, not isogenics people. The people on your team already know you're great. You need some of the new people to know. So comment. Don't just like it, and don't just say pretty cute. Give at least 4 words. And bless you, Cindy. And the more,
Thank you.
The more you comment on their stuff, guess what? They're going to come back and comment on yours. It's like holding the door for someone. They simply reciprocate. That's all. And then the last, and for me, what's been most potent is Facebook groups. Find groups that you love. Facebook is insane. There is literally a Facebook group for everything, from tandem bike riding to hibiscus growers. Like, there is a Facebook group, guys, for everything. What do you like? Do you love horseback riding? Do you love gardening? Don't join a fitness group. There's 50 million other people promoting their programs in a fitness group. Be different. Join yard sale groups, join mom groups, join soccer moms, join things that are unique and individual to you. Okay? And in those groups, add value. Be an expert. You know, give a recommendation. I posted it in one of my mom groups, my Roomba. Does anyone know what this Roomba is? It was a picture of me and my feet up on the table with a glass of wine in front of me. I don't drink wine, but I put it for props. And I said, is it awful that I feel guilty that this guy is working so hard while I'm sitting here sipping on wine? Like, it was silly. The vacuum's vacuuming itself, and I'm over there drinking wine. Do you think that they might look at my page and see, why is this crazy broad drinking wine on a Monday at 12 in the afternoon? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, everybody else is at work. And I'm over here just hanging back, watching the vacuum. Add value. Be funny. And I would say that the most important thing, you have to talk to people. And you have to make it fun, and you have to keep it lighthearted. Today, I had 7 appointments. 1 canceled, 1 didn't show up, 1 demanded the name of the program before she got on the phone with me. You deal with all sorts of mishigas, all sorts of crazy things. You know what I mean? It's part of the business. It's part of the business. But here's what you've got to work on. Keep it fun, keep it lighthearted, and whatever happens, don't take it to heart. Remember that you have the ability to change somebody's life. So that's my Facebook system. If I'm out there in the street just talking to people, I could go in a clothing store and I would just look at a shirt and I would say, this is amazing. I lost 18 pounds recently and I really need to revamp my wardrobe. Can you help me choose a couple outfits? I totally have like mom style. And just like poke fun of yourself. Be silly. It's not that serious. And it's very easy to throw in the health and wellness. I mean, when you go get your hair done, and I know the ladies might think this is crazy, I never go to the same hair salon twice because the last one knows exactly what I'm doing. You know, so I want to speak to a new one. I go to a new eyelash lady, a new eyebrow lady, you know, and I say, how do you like working here? How many years are you here? That's amazing. Or that's really tough. You go to school and do this? Oh, have you ever heard of network marketing? Yeah, I didn't either, but now I'm home. You know, I'm home with my kids, creating a little bit of residual income. You have to be curious. And you have to stop worrying about offending people and approach this with a childlike curiosity.
Okay, I want to dig a little deeper. So I first of all, the consistency, spot on. I'll slip you a 5 later. I see so many people start and stop and start and stop, and they'll be so consistent and so fired up, and then they drop off the face of the earth, and then they come back. And so consistency is key. And guys, it literally, for me, I'm just someone, I am so easily distracted. If I do not write it down, I do not remember. So I have to write things down, time block, figure out each day what I am doing. I'm getting so specific now in my time blocking that I'm actually writing what I'm doing each day. So like Angela was saying, if you're going to do Wellness Wednesday, actually write it in your calendar so you don't forget it. So consistency is huge. I love that. So what I'd like to do, so let's go to give the one example you were saying about your hairdresser. Okay, so you're talking to your hairdresser, you bring up network marketing, ask if they're open. How do you finish that conversation? Do you have samples in your bag? Do you leave her with samples, your card? How do you get them on Facebook so they can now be brought into your system? What's the next step once you have that conversation and you bring Isogenics into the conversation?
I always friend them on Facebook because I know when they go to my page, they're going to check me out. They're going to see that I'm legit, that I'm sincere, that I'm all about it. And then I would follow up with them and say, you know, Dawn, have you had any time to think about what we discussed? And then I would just follow up, continuously follow up with them. I think the follow-up is something very important. But let's say like I meet you in a store and they're like, oh my gosh, you do Isogenics? I've heard of that. I'm like, yeah, totally. I love it. You would totally love it. Here's my phone. Add your name. Let's stay connected. And I would be happy to send you some more information. So if I've already explained the whole program to them, obviously it's just a matter of me being in their radar and continuously following up. If I haven't explained the program to them and it was just like a quick meetup, yeah, like her boss, the dental hygienist, the dentist was there and she couldn't talk. So I said, oh my God, I have a dental hygienist on my team who's crushing the program. Here, friend me and I'll send you the information later tonight. And then I would message her and say, how would you best process the information? What's the best way to get this to you? For me, my favorite is always offline and on the phone. But today's day and age, someone might not want to get on the phone. They might want to see a video first. They might want, I don't know, to read a link. I like sending them isogenicshealth.net because it's really science-based. Like the research says, we target visceral fat, we increase protein. Here are the studies. So judging by what the person needs, I'll comply. It's not a cookie cutter kind of thing. However you need to make a decision, you tell me and I will support you. But I will also tell you that I am the follow-up queen. You know, I don't know if you guys watch Seinfeld, but George Costanza was trying to get a date with this girl. So he kept singing the song like, by Menon Costanza. So his name would get stuck in her head. That's how I do. I am following up with you every week. I would be like, hey, Pam, did you ever hear of this kale soup? You have any good recipes for that? I would just stay in touch with anything. It's not always like, hey, girl, are you ready to get started? I wouldn't do that every week because then you become annoying. But just to say, hey, Pam, I found a really great cabbage soup recipe. Did you ever try this stuff? You know, just stay in touch. Be in their mind. Be in their forefront. Because when they are ready to make a decision, I want them to think about me.
Right.
I want them to think about the person that's constantly in contact with them, reaching out to them, and cares, and is a product of the product. I'm with you, girl. We'll be drinking the shakes together. You're not in this alone. And that's what people need to know. They don't want to be sold. You know, I'll buy anything from anyone, but I need to feel that you actually give a hoot about me. I don't want to feel that I'm your next commission. And I think that's important. I think we have to stop making it about the enrollment and start making it about the conversation. And so I have my team commit to speak to 3 people a day, follow up with 3 people a day, make 3 new friends a day, join 3 new Facebook groups a day. I don't care what you do. Just do it each and every day. Because it's like that wonderful book that someone recommended. I really enjoyed it. The Compound Effect.
Mm-hmm.
It was so interesting, guys. It just showed a story of 3 different guys. You know, one kept doing what he was doing, and like 10 years later, he was like 10 pounds heavier. He missed the job promotion. Him and his wife were having trouble. The other one literally did nothing and stayed the same for 40 years, didn't grow, like just lived a mediocre life. And then there was this other guy who just read 10 pages every night, who just drank a little bit more water and cut out that Diet Coke, who just walked around the block and did a little bit more each day. And the one that took those little simple steps each day, in 10 years, he's pounded out like 200 books. The relationship with his wife was magnificent. He had the job promotion. Commit to doing the basic, simple things every day. There's people everywhere. It's not about who to find. It's about having the courage to open your mouth and say something.
Right. All right. Do you have time for a couple more questions? I've got a couple more.
Yes, I love you. I'll do anything for you.
Okay. All right. So tell us, how many hours per day would you estimate you are posting, reaching out, following up? And that's my first question. My second question is, tell us, what's your system for following up? Do you have some kind of a tickler where you go to your calendar and each week put people in that you want to follow up with so you don't forget? So first question, how many hours per day do you average?
Today I probably worked 3 hours. I did 2 3-way phone calls for 2 members on my team. I spoke to, I think, 4 new prospects. This is just 3 hours of like a phone conversation. On Facebook, I posted in one group, and then just throughout the day, I just kind of kept commenting. But for me, I don't engage. Here's the thing. You gotta post, respond to the comments, and the response is very simple. I'll inbox you. And then when I friend them and I inbox them, it's one sentence. What 2 times are you available? I'd be happy to chat. That's it. I don't answer questions on Facebook, because if you sit there and answer questions all day, number 1, they're not going to value your time. Number 2, the bottom line is going to be like, how much and what's it called? I need to take it offline and on the phone so they can hear my heart. So the Facebook thing, I mean, it's just two, 3 posts a day doesn't take more than 10 minutes. I think the more you post, the more it will become like second nature. And just responding to the comments, maybe another 30, 45 minutes. I probably work like 3.5 hours today, but my baby was homesick and I got to do it in bed with her. So, it's different kind of work. It's love work. It's not hard, but I put in about 3 hours today, 3.5.
And I'm sure there's days you put it in a little bit more and all of that. But I think, a lot of people work full time and they want great results, but they're fearful about finding that time to fit it in. And it can be done, especially when you're super intentional and very organized. So for those of you that are really busy, a lot of you have kids and you're running and you've got all kinds of other responsibilities. So if you're super intentional with your time and very organized, you can fit this stuff in. Yes. Awesome. Now I forget the second question I asked you.
Well, what I will say to that is the minute you come up with a good post, put it in your notes or text message yourself so you don't forget it and you can use it for the next day. So you should be thinking, this is the way your mind will eventually just come to operate. But the minute I find something good or something funny, like I already know what I'm posting tomorrow night, I text it to myself so that I don't forget. So the posting should be quick. If you're going to be in groups, be intentional. But here's the thing. If you only have 1 hour a day, right? Let's say on Sunday that you only have 1 hour to put in on Monday, you should have your 3 appointments set. Every phone call is, I do the mom finger a lot. I hope this doesn't offend anyone. I do the mom finger. It's love. It's with love. But here's the thing. If you know on Sunday that on Monday you only have an hour to commit, you should have those 3 calls already scheduled in your planner. You shouldn't be shuffling thinking, what am I going to do on Monday? You got to plan a day ahead. So every conversation should not be more than 15, 20 minutes. You tell them your 30-second story. That's it. Enough about you. Then you ask questions. How long have you been feeling this way? What other programs have you tried? Where do you see yourself struggling the most? If I can offer you a solution, how serious would you be? Because here's what we got. And in the first 5-10 minutes, they already know whether they're going to do it or not. So you know what? After 20 minutes, you got to say, listen, Susan, it was wonderful chatting with you. I will be happy to send you some information. I actually have another client call right after us, but let's be in touch. That's going to make them think you're like the hot prom date who don't have time for anybody. Like you have to put some urgency behind it. But if you can commit to 1 hour, that's 3 phone calls a day. If you can do 3 calls a day, 5 days a week, folks, you've just spoken to 60 people. If you can speak to 60 people a month, I promise you, even if you stink, you're going to sign up 4 to 6 of them. It's just
the numbers.
Yeah, it's just the ratio. And the more people you talk to, the better you get. The more your flow will be concise, more confident.
Okay, I'm going to get to these questions here. Margie, I love you. You're my favorite tonight. She reminded me. My second question is, how do you follow up with it? Like a tickler? For me, when I have a call with someone and I'm following up with them, I put my follow-up date in my calendar because I will never remember to follow up with them if it's not in my calendar.
So every month I do this fun thing. It's called Go for No. I think for most people it would be painful, but for me it's fun. I try to get 100 no's a month, and here they are for February, and then I go back. I go back to those 100 no's. It doesn't matter how, some people do it in Excel. Sometimes I do it on a notebook. Sometimes I'm a little bit more organized. Other times I have 9 million Post-it notes all over the place. It doesn't matter how you do it. Write it down and do it. I mean, it doesn't matter if you write it on toilet paper with pink sparkly pen. But have it somewhere where you can see it, where you can go back to it. I never talk to someone and not write their name down. We're busy, folks. In 30 days, you're not going to remember who you spoke to today. So
right.
get something like this. Commit to going for 100 no's. And the ones that say yes, you cross them off. And the ones that say no, you keep following up. And the next month, you know what? You do it all over again.
That's awesome. I'm going to ask if you'll share that with me for those people that don't think you're crazy and would love that. I've already recommended the book Go for No. You must have read it if you're doing that. Okay.
Yes, I did.
Amazing. All right. Couple questions. Do you use Instagram, or is Facebook your one and only?
I will be honest with you. I've had one enrollment on Instagram, and it was my friend Chris who said, keep doing what you're doing and get my wife on board because I want her to make money. So it was someone who knew me. I'm posting consistently. I'm using hashtags to build followers. This is a great tip. Tag-O-Matic. One word, Tag-O-Matic. And you can put in any word. Weight loss, work from home, pets, dogs, anything. And it automatically gives you 30 hashtags. So just using that Tag-O-Matic and posting on Instagram every day, I am very close to hitting 10,000 followers.
Wow.
Yeah, and I don't have a clue what I'm doing. But now the young people are telling me that I need to be doing stories. So I'm like, oh, Lord, another thing. But you know what? I'm coachable. And if it's going to build me a 7-figure-a-year business, I'm open to trying anything. You know, you only subsidize for a short period of time. It's human. You're going to get better if you stick with it. So I'm committed to learning this Instagram. I'm committed to adding followers on LinkedIn. But 95% of my business has come from Facebook, and I would say the other 5-10% has come from referrals.
That's great. And I know you do a great job asking for referrals as well. I have someone else that message may have had a couple private messages too. Do you follow a script when you get to the point where they're interested and they're enrolling? I know many of us have used the PK script, talking from top down, selling packs. What's your closing? How do you do the close?
You know what? If the person says to you, what do I have to do to get started? You know, you've gone a little too long. You know, because you should be the one telling them what they need to do to get started. So I provide the information and I say to them, have I given you enough information to get started? And they're either a yes or they're either a no. And if they're a no, I say, okay, well, let me send you some more information and I'll follow up with you in a couple of days. Is that cool? And they'll say yes or no. And if they are ready to get started, I say fantastic. And I learned this from Kathy Savage, who's amazing. That's why I get to events. Always. I was very apprehensive about the value pack because I just grew up in a very broke, impoverished mentality, you know, and it's something I'm still working on. But for me, the value pack was like, whoa, who's going to spend that kind of money? That's insane. I started with a 9-day. But I heard Kathy Savage say on stage, $12 a day or $20 a day, you know, in her Mama Savage sassy tone. And I said, I freaking love that. And that's what I say to people. We have 2 amazing packs. We have one that's $20 a day. It is the whole kit and caboodle. You're going to get a blender. You get your greens. You get your bars. You get your vitamins. You get everything you need so you don't have to worry about those snacks. Or we have the basic pack. Both will give you the same results. One's a lot simpler, and I love it way better. But this one will also, you know, guarantee those same results. Which one do you feel more comfortable with?
And you don't even mention the premium.
I don't love the premium. No, I do the 30-day with add-ons, so I kind of make it my own premium, or I do the value pack. But it's a personal preference. You know, if you guys, I like the 30-day customized, and then I add on the delights, the whey chips, the bars. But you know, to each his own.
Yeah,
I don't want the $50 PIP. I want the BV. I want to max out 5 centers. So I'm not concerned with the, you know, but however you were taught, do that. You know, but it's not, I don't think what you say, it's with the posture I heard her say it. And I just think for so long I was overthinking that price and being such a weirdo about it. And it's not that serious. Like, who am I to judge what people can spend on things, you know?
Right, right. And everyone does it a little bit differently. And some people read scripts, some people don't. Some people do PK, some people do the slogans. It really doesn't matter. But honestly, what does matter is your conviction, your posture, your belief. Absolutely. All right. I think we've gotten through most of the questions here. All right, Ange, anything that you want to share? We've got 2 weeks for this Crystal Executive Reset. Maybe when you're closing out here with your last pearls of wisdom, creating consultants is going to be huge for people that want to work on this reset. So any words of wisdom on getting those enrollments to share? Do you, when you are actually at the enrollment stage and getting everyone enrolled, do you talk to them about sharing with 2 people right away?
As soon as I have their credit card in my hand and I have them going into the system, I say, you want to click the purple box that will allow you to become an associate, because here's the kicker. When you have incredible results, you're going to find 2 people and they're going to send you some cash back, and it's going to allow you to continue month 2 for free. So start thinking of who you know, and I don't want you to feel as though you have to be an expert here. If you have anyone who's interested, please get me on the phone. I'm here to support you physically, financially, however you need. And so I start with that. On day 1, when I do the box walkthrough, I mention it again. I show them the back office. I say, here's 1 person. Here's where we're going to put the second. Don't do it without me. The first 5 we're going to do together. I always let them know I'm going to be there. And then on day 5, when I do the cleanse day call, I say, if on day 8 you have great results, and if on day 8 you feel amazing, would you be open to posting if I wrote something out for you? And I hold everybody like that, because if they can put up a post and say, after watching my coach Ange lose 28 pounds and feel amazing, I finally decided to do something nice for myself and I'm down 8 pounds, guys, I just send me your love and support. It's a great way to now my 500 friends see that I'm doing things right, that I'm coaching someone well, but now also their 500 friends see. So you're building a network, whether this person stays on or not. I'm friending their friends, they're friending my friends. It's how you grow. It's very easy on social media. But I will also say that during this 2 weeks, if you've got nothing popping on Facebook, get your buns off the pink chair and get out there. Hit the streets. Talk to your kid's pediatrician. Go to the doctor's office. Talk to manicurists. Leave business cards everywhere. It's not about how you do it. I know Cindy's amazing and she wants to give you just the right stuff. It doesn't matter how. What matters is you keep sharing the story. The person who talks to the most people, that's who's going to win. That's who's going to win. I don't think it's anything special that I did. I just think that I was in such a situation that I didn't want, we had our backs up against the wall. This was a do or die. And I really believe that people succeed in life either from inspiration or desperation. And Lord knows we were desperate. You got to be all in. You can't dip one toe in and think it's going to work. How are you going to lead a team? Be that person for them. You don't have to know it all, but you got to show up. You got to show up with heart, with passion, with excitement. My team knows I don't know everything by far, but I would give my shirt off my back for them,
Yeah, you're a lover and you are so abundant, and I can't thank you enough. You've really fired me up. I hope I can sleep. I need to sleep. I've got a little head cold going on and I'm going to take my Ionics, but I just adore you. I love interviewing leaders because everyone does it a little bit differently, and a lot of us change and ebb as we go and try different things and see what really works for us. But what you do clearly works when it comes to enrolling, my friend, and you're just awesome. Thank you for sharing from your heart all these things. I hope you guys found at least a couple things today, 2 or 3 at least, that can really help you for the next 2 weeks. And I hope this fires you up to really get into high gear. Give it a few extra hours. If you only have an hour a day, try to squeeze in 2 hours a day. Get up a little bit early, send those messages, stay up a little bit late, work real hard on the weekend. We didn't even talk about sip and samples or events or anything like that. We'll have to do that for another call, but have those conversations, because the more conversations you have and the more no's you get, you're that much closer to a yes. Oh, Ange, thank you so much.
I love you. Kiss Scott for me.
I will. He's right behind me.
There he is. Thank you
All
for
right.
having me on, Cindy.
Thank you so much, Angela. I love you. Can't wait to